All right. Welcome to Nothing But Worry number, I don't know. But anyway, say a few words to everybody, Bonnie.
Hello, everybody.
All right. So we're trying to come up with some topics, and I mentioned TV shows, and Bonnie said, no, hell no, we're not talking about TV shows we've been watching.
I've just noticed that I sit down in front of the computer and I hit the same sites. Television is all the same crap. It's just, there's nothing out there for me anymore.
Yeah, but you were intent on watching something the last couple of days.
Just trying to kill time, trying to feel better.
Okay. Well, we might watch that new Godzilla movie when it comes out on streaming.
Oh, yeah, Peter said it was really good. You recommended it to somebody, but there was a funny result.
Oh yeah, I mentioned it to this woman who cut my hair, and I said, "Well, I'm going to warn you. It's in Japanese. You have to read it." And she said she did not like that idea. No, no. It's kind of like when my dad watched Das Boot and realized he had to read it. He said it took me a while to get used to it, but after a while, you get used to reading it.
And your uncle did not like that at all when we let him borrow that also.
I
That's
think
a great movie, by the way.
I think he was disturbed by the
Movies.
scenes of debauchery at the beginning of the movie. Well, so we also decided maybe we talk about stuff we've been reading lately, and you've got a book here. What is this?
The Three Body Problem. And I'm only reading it because I've been trying to find things to watch. So I've been watching trailers, and a trailer for this came up. Netflix is putting it out in the next couple of months. And I thought, okay, I'm going to look into this. And I got it on Friday. And I'm only 60 pages into it, which isn't much for me, considering how I read. But it's Saturday. um, but I really like it. It starts off, the scene is the 1960s Cultural Revolution in China, and a physics professor is on trial, a public trial, and he's being challenged by basic tenets of physics. And as the scene progresses, they are attacking not the science, but what the science is allied with, that is Western thought, and the Western scientists who have proposed certain theories. And it sent me down a rabbit hole of thinking about science in general and the perceptions. I have had this misguided idea that science somehow or another will save us from, and most recently it's the worst of the political spectrum. And after COVID, it's like there's no hope. These idiots are presented with facts and science, and they are still over there talking about chloroquine and bleach and light therapy and all this crap, ignoring everything there is to do about the science backing it up. And then it dawned on me, the Supreme Court last year rejected all the science with regard to abortion. They completely ignored the fact there is no fucking heartbeat at 6 weeks because there's no heart. The heart hasn't developed in the fetus. And they have these, they have fallen for their own lies. Like the heartbeat thing, for example. They ignore the science. They ignored over 20 different groups, including the colleges of gynecology, obstetrics, etc., and all these other scientific groups that said abortion needs to be made accessible. And they offered these things, and no, these Catholic justices went with their religious beliefs over the science. And reading this book, The Three Body Problem, beginning in the Cultural Revolution as it's set initially, you see how these political ideologies set aside facts. It's sad. There's no hope, Lance.
No, not really. No. Um, I am currently sort of fumbling my way through a book of French language comics, and I'm going through flashcards, French flashcards. What was I? I was reading something in German. I had to just drop it. I don't know. It's so funny, you know. I get started learning French, and I'm like, oh God, this is a daunting task. But then I realize, you know, you've done this before, and you can do it again. You just, you know, starting something is always baby steps, and you just have to. After a while, you learn how you learn. I don't know that I'm going to be following up with jumping into reading any French books anytime soon, though. I've been reading some modern poetry lately, and I don't know. I haven't read anything modern in years, and you know, a recently published book in years. So anyway, nothing to say. Are you reading anything besides that?
No, I do things one at a time.
Do you? Sometimes I'm reading 2 or 3 books at once. I just gotten tired of novels. Gotten tired of the whole emphasis on resolving the plot or whatever. I just don't care. I think it's one reason I like poetry is it's like condensed. So,
You got your hair cut. It looks really good.
oh, thank you. You thought it was not short enough.
I still don't think it's short enough up top. It should be only like 1 finger length.
I don't know how,
It's 2.
I don't know how much shorter it could be.
You want David Muir's hair. That's the thing.
That takes a lot of
Styling.
maintenance, yeah. You know, when you're a high school kid, or, you know, when you're a young man, you and all of your peers, you spend forever getting the hair just right. Every day, you got to maintain this hair.
Hair gel in the 80s. Ugh.
But now, I slick it back with water and to hell with it. I just don't care anymore.
It's because you're an old man. Old.
Probably. I don't know if the beard looks better with short hair or long hair.
Short. But your beard needs to be drastically trimmed. Wild and woolly old man.
I think I should wait till it fills in a little more before I trim it.
No, you need to get it under control now.
Well, you can do it then. I don't know. I can't see what you see.
It's tough sticking out. I mean, look at this right here. I mean, I'm pulling on this thing right here, and it's longer than the rest of it. Ew. Yeah, you see that? I can pull at it.
What?
You might as well take some wax and like extend it and make little pointy bits. It's so long.
I'm thinking about doing something to my mustache because when I sleep, it blows up into my nose, and I can't. It's just itchy and tickly.
Ooh, turn sideways. Let me see. Yeah, you got some weird hairs going upwards.
It goes into my nose.
Yeah, gross.
You're less inclined to eliminate nose hair when you know it's connecting with your mustache, and it's not a good thing. Nobody told me these things. I thought,
What, you're gonna have hair growing out of your ear?
yeah, exactly.
Walter Cronkite eyebrows. I wake up some mornings after having slept really hard, and my eyebrows have rubbed up against the pillow, and they're like upright. I mean, it's not quite like Thoofer out of Dune or something, but it's pretty bad.
You remember Dr. Van Dyke had some crazy eyebrows.
No, I don't.
Yeah, they were like from the animal kingdom.
All I remember of him now is after he gotten really old. I walked in one year, and I'm like, my God, he aged 10 years is the last time I was here. God, my dad's got to be 80.
Yeah,
End of this month. My God.
strange.
Is your mom 80 yet?
Yeah, she turned 80 in November.
Wow. I just found out one of my aunts died. I had zero feelings about it. None. She's the one whose husband shot the gun off over my shoulder next to my ear.
Oh, really? So she was an aunt by marriage.
Yeah.
That's weird when you're growing up and you learn that, well,
Somebody's not blood, yeah.
Yeah. So, what have we been listening to lately? I've been listening to a lot of,
He listens to Joy Division, too, and... What do you mean?
I had the CD out, but I didn't actually listen to it.
Oh, and who was the group we had? The 80s group? You were looking for an album by one of the guys?
I've been listening to the Psychedelic Furs lately.
Oh, yeah.
They were a really good group.
You have an irritating habit. You will put on a CD and you will not play whatever the hit was or whatever I know. You want to have something else, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. And the other day you had on an album, I'm like, why don't you play Wedding Song by the Psychedelic Furs? You're like, oh, you like that. I said, you know that I like it. That's why you didn't put it on.
I always, well, anyway.
Yeah, you reject the things that other people like. It's like that story about the tennis shoes. You buying a pair of tennis shoes at a store, going in, and the salesman tells you, oh, these are really popular, and you just went, well, then I don't want them. You're ornery, you're contrarian, you always have been.
Back when I was about 20 years old, I used to smoke. I dabbled at smoking. And my roommate was a smoker. And he smoked Marlboro Lights because they were the most popular cigarette in the world. That was the appeal for him.
What?
I can hear you in my bed.
Are we keep?
For everything that I'm trying to listen to.
Okay. All right. We'll keep it down. Good night.
Well, you can't really speak to anything. I mean, Red Stripe Lager story? Oh, come on.
That was.
No.
I wanted to identify with Keith Richards for wearing that T-shirt.
Uh-huh. And so you went out and bought Red Stripe Lager.
Yeah, but if somebody had told me, Budweiser Light is the best-selling beer in the world, I would never have.
What was the Stone song? You can't be a man if you don't smoke the same cigarettes as...
Me, yeah.
Yeah.
He can't be a man because he doesn't smoke the same
Yeah.
cigarettes as me.
God.
Long time ago, Mitch and I were going up to Atlanta, and we stopped in for gas somewhere, and there was a poster, an advertising poster for Marlboro cigarettes, and the picture showed the back of some guy's head, sort of out of focus, and in front of him was an older cowboy offering him a cigarette, and Mitch said, "Look at this. It's the older, wise man indoctrinating the younger man. This is the cigarettes you want, son."
This is a guy who smoked the same cigarettes as his dad, I bet.
Now, his dad smoked Winston. I don't know what Mitch smoked or
You
smokes.
remember that ad we saw up in Atlanta? It was Coca-Cola from Shell, but the S had blended out. It said Coca-Cola from Hell or something like that.
It said, welcome to Shell, but it changed it to
Welcome to hell.
welcome to hell.
Oh, God.
I got a picture of that somewhere.
One of these days, if I'm feeling better, we're going to have to head back up there.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I really want to go to the bookstore up there, see what they have. Want to go to our favorite restaurant. And I want to go to the Beaufort Highway Farmers Market. I want to go to DeKalb just for the bread and the cheese.
I should probably go through my spice cabinet and refresh things from there because they have great spices.
I'd like to go to Namde Moon too.
No, which one is that? The one at Steve Reynolds?
Yeah, one right down the road from where I work.
Yeah, that's like 10 minutes away from where you were. That's
Yeah.
cool. We went there one day when we got out to work early, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
They got a neat little section in there of knickknacks, like little fancy tea trays and teacups and stuff like that.
One day you should let me drive you to work, and then I will go and check into a hotel. And I will go out and do some shopping and bring it back to the room. And the next morning I'll wake up and come get you at work. And we'll feast off of whatever I had. You'll get some sleep for a couple of hours. Then we'll go out. And then we'll come back to the room. And then we'll go out to lunch. And go out again. And spend another night up there in the hotel.
The idea of
I know it's only an hour and a half from here.
the idea of me getting sleep in a hotel room is just ludicrous. I don't know how I would do it. I guess it's possible.
Drugs, baby, drugs. I can't take my sleeping pills anymore. They're causing blurry vision. So I'm back to sleeping a couple hours, and
I wouldn't mind trying sleeping pills.
I don't know how these would fuck with you because oof. They're actually an antidepressant, antidepressant, and he gave it to me a single pill. He's supposed to take 3 a day, but they cause sleepiness, and it's one of the few things he could give me with my heart medicine. And now I can't take it. I just wish I could do, like laudanum.
Yeah. Have you got any Xanax left?
I have 2 left, and I'm saving them, and saving them, and saving them for trying to do a sleep study, but it's just not happening because I can't get anywhere near the 6-hour minimum for the sleep study. I love Xanax. Takes all my worries away.
The 2 times I've done Xanax, they just absolutely knocked me out.
Didn't happen with me.
Just totally paralyzed.
I've done it twice, the dental surgeries. The first time he said, take it the night before, then take it an hour before the surgery. So I took it the night before. I fell asleep. I slept so soundly and so contentedly, with no worries, no stirring, no nothing. I got up the next morning, I was still in bliss, so much so that I didn't take that extra pill. I don't even know what happened to the extra one. And then, this past time, I had another dental surgery. He said, don't skip it before. He goes, I want you to take it the night before and an hour before. I had 72 hours of ultra bliss from 2 tiny little 5 milligram Xanaxes.
I don't know how you drove.
I didn't drive. Peter drove me.
That is just, because that stuff, there's no way you could drive on that.
I actually probably would have thought that I could have driven because, I was fully cognizant of everything Peter was doing in the car and myself and such, but I didn't care. I loved it. And it probably would have slowed my reaction time, etc. I certainly would not drive under the influence, period. But I fucking loved Xanax.
Well, after hearing Patton Oswalt talk about Ambien, I want to try that too.
I did that once, and it was like being in a zombie state. I had a doctor who prescribed it for me because she took care of my annual, and she asked me how I was doing. I told her I was having sleep problems, and given my time in life, she goes, well, I'll give you something to help you sleep. And she goes, let me go ahead and tell you, we're going to just give you a couple, and you try it, but you be careful about how you drive. I took it, and I woke up, and it was like being in some sort of fugue state.
How did I know you were going to use that word?
Lance, I was zombified. It was the worst feeling. I couldn't get out of it. It must have been 48 hours or more. It just stayed with me. I will never have Ambien ever again in my life.
Huh. It's funny. I think, now that we're getting older, they're going to be they're going to be less reluctant to give us, the kind of medication that we've always wanted. No, son, you're younger than 30. Once you get over 40, we'll start, letting you have a little bit of something. But
Yeah, I was shocked that my doctor agreed to give me Ambien for this sleep study, but I've yet to meet the parameters for getting near the sleep study. So it was the idea of, actually I have 3. He said take it one night and try it. If you do it, if you can't, then take 2 the next night. I was like, oh,
I'd be afraid of dying in my sleep.
I know. So I've still got the 3 Xanax sitting here just going, okay, we're waiting for you. Now trying to get happy. I swear I would take laudanum if I could because it helps me sleep so well. That whole opiate stuff. But like they pointed out, the opiate stuff, it just stops. The efficacy of it stops if you take it continuously. So you don't take it, Except for every blue moon, like when I had those bee stings last year from hell.
All right, we've reached our normal limit of the time.
Have we? Okay.
So, anything else?
I think we've said enough. DEA will be knocking at the door anytime.
Yeah.
Where are your 3 Xanax?
Yeah, you must turn them in.
Leftover opiates in your cabinet? I mean, what does it say? We sit around we have leftover things in our thing. We obviously don't have drug problems because, it's just there, sitting there, waiting to be used.
Yeah.
Till the next time we're in extreme pain.
Well, all right. We're going to make this a regular show every weekend. We're going to record this. And what we'll both be doing is keeping track of little topics during the week. And so, we'll do that for the show. Do that for the show. And put that in reserve. Huh. So, I think that's about it. So, see you later.
Yup. Bye.
Okay. That's a good